Love the spooky music. This is perfect. Okay, good, good, good. We're also testing some audio changes here. Hopefully this is coming through a lot louder and a lot more clear. I will be right back. Gotta grab some water. Well, welcome, Faye. Good to see you. First time chat. All right. Ooh. Yeah, I saw all the work that you've been doing there, Dan. A lot of emos got added. Okay, let's see here. I love that the button on this is transition. Okay, how's everybody doing? How's your night? I was like having some sleepy vibes and just kind of hanging out listening to music, and then a high-speed chase happened outside my window. So I'm awake now, very awake. Uh, I decided we do a little bit of storytelling, something a little bit slower than usual. For those that haven't played Sunless Sea, it's a bit of a spooky game, and it's more about the story than it really is about the actual gameplay. Um, Basically, the gameplay is a set of challenges designed to restart your run. And it's another roguelike, as you might be noticing thematically, I tend to play a lot of those. Let's see. Played it once. Yeah, I've played this one a lot. I'm not good at it. I'm actually really, really bad at the combat in it. uh, I can say I've made it through bits and pieces of the story, and I have an idea of what's going on in the overarching universe, but I've not really come to any real conclusion in the story or made it to any point where I feel like I've completed any story arcs, just bits and pieces and tastes of what's available out there. And this game has a larger overarching story to it. It's not just Sunless Sea. There's also Fallen London, which is a browser-based game that is purely story-driven, and you have a certain number of interactions that you can have per day in the choose your own adventure story of it. But what you do in that universe can actually spill over into this one because your character that lives in Fallen London can actually be a known compatriot of the captain of the ship. So yeah, there's so much flavor and story to this universe, and I absolutely love it. It's another one that's dear to my heart, and I wish that I had the dexterity necessary to really carry through to all of like the endpoints in it, but we'll see where we can get today. It's been a few years since I've really made an attempt at it, so okay. Whoa, my avatar is acting a little funky. think it might be the microphone. Okay. Switch over to here. What is going on with this? Let me grab this real quick. Okay, I was afraid for a second that this was being cut off, but it looks like it's actually all there. Cool. So, welcome to Sunless Sea. This game has some of the coolest background audio, and I don't want to really cut it much further than I already have, which is part of why I'm also trying to make certain that my mic gain is high enough. There's so much ambience to this one, so like grab yourself a cozy drink, turn off the lights, grab some headphones because the surround sound audio in this does make a difference. It is beautiful. We're gonna start a whole new game here. Oh, please respond, Sunless Sea. Don't lock up on me. Um, okay. Uh-oh. Oh, we're back. I was afraid we might have some window clipping here, so let's see what I can do about that. Maybe not. Captain's making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient to everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Undersea. A past wreathed in shadows. Decide later. If you want to just get out to sea immediately, you can choose this. Opportunities to revisit your past will arrive later. Oh, hey, Andra. Good to see you, hon. I'm gonna actually choose a past. We'll decide who we are. You now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. Who were you? Now you're a captain. Now you belong to the Undersea. But who were you before? An ordained priest? A natural philosopher? A veteran of the campaign of 68? Poet? Or a street urchin? Let's see here. I'm curious about the philosopher. Your peculiar theories on time, blood, and starlight brought you down to the Nice, the cavern where London lies, and now they take you out to sea. This will give you a bonus to mirrors, the skill of detection and perception. A poet, educated and articulate, you seek sensations at sea. Now, how lucky you had such a... Wait. How lucky you had a legacy to spend. Your long-vanished father had a rich patron, it seems. This will give you a bonus to pages, the skill of trickery, and knowledge. A street urchin. Your urchin gang cast you out when you grew too tall. You took to sea rather than graduate to larger crimes. That last big score was enough to buy you a ship. This will give you a bonus to veils, the skills of subtlety and evasion. Oh, I should have done some tongue twisters before I started this because this is going to be a lot of heavy reading. This game is essentially a novel, but it is beautiful. I love it. So let's see here. I'm definitely a street urchin at heart, forever wandering. I also like the idea of being a natural philosopher because in the last few years I've been kind of thinking about why I'm even here. Let's give that one a try. Maybe it'll help. We got a strange looking person here. A plausible surgeon. He probably won't saw the wrong limb off. Alright. Your acquaintance, the plausible surgeon, will serve as the ship's doctor until you find someone better. Talk to him to find out why he went to sea. No one was born a sea captain, but now you're a sea captain. Your stranger quality is gone. Welcome to the world, a past yet to be revealed. You gain 20 echo. Echoes are the currency of the bazaar, and thus the currency of London. You gain 25 mirrors. Detection and perception. The higher your mirrors, the quicker you can find a firing solution in combat. Oh! I'm still terrible at that. You now have one plausible surgeon. Someone is looking for passage. What does winning mean to you? Your father was lost at sea. You never knew him, but you've often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London for a decent burial. Eternal life sounds like something you'd enjoy, and it's said that presbyter, the ruler of the Elder Continent, has lived forever. I'm gonna have to change the font on this because it's a little small for me. Gather 100 tales. Learn all you can of the Z. Write a masterpiece. Retire. You know how it is to be poor. Now you want a mansion, servants, fine clothes, a family, perhaps. Ooh. Establish a colony where you're the absolute ruler. A utopia, perhaps. Perhaps. You can't choose this now, but you may find an opportunity to switch to it in a later game. Immortality sounds interesting. So let's hit that one. The Presbyterate guard li The Presbyterate guards its secrets fiercely, but amidst the clamor and beer stains of the blind helmsman, a salt-scarred navigator is telling tales of the continent's deepest interior, of a city called Nida. There's something on my screen. Nida, and the origin of the presbyter's long life. Where is he getting this information? Bring wine. He's susceptible to wine. You'll find the navigator and your first clue in London. An occurrence. Your objective, ambition quality, is now liberate the secret of immortality. Begin your quest in London. Last scrap of paperwork. Captain! Captain! An irregularity with the harbormaster's office. They wish to know, what term of address do you prefer ashore? Madam, my lady, my lord, captain, citizen, sir. Well, I've worked a long time to no longer be called sir. Let's do with my lady. A pleasure to welcome you on board, my lady. A last piece of advice. Explore. Take chances. This captain will probably die. The sea is hungry, but each captain passes on lessons to the next. Who are you? Who is she? Oh, now we choose how we look. There's a lot of delightfully, like, NB vibe ones in here. I love them. I also love the people that are tentacles. I think I'm really torn between the top and bottom here. Long? Okay. Tippy Tap's Long's mate, the captain. Fall in London. Oh my, there's a lot to read. Advice for captains. Let's see. Is there a way? Not just yet. And I'm certain that if I hit escape here, it's going to put me out to sea, which I don't want to do yet. So we're gonna hit through as much of the tutorial as I can tolerate. Never mind, we just hit that number. Thank you, escape does work. Okay, video settings. Font scale. Hello, yes please. That is so much better. I don't have to creep up on my screen now. The much lamented Mux Devereaux found a watery grave long, long ago. Probably your end will be no better, but if you read this book of invaluable advice, your chances will improve. Captains often die. This is not the end, and when you die, you'll learn lessons which will help you survive next time. Beware, the layout of the undersea changes for each new captain, but home waters are stable, and islands will only move so far. Future captains can inherit some skills, officers, equipments, and money. Over time, you'll find extra items and advantages that will allow you to preserve a greater inheritance. Okay. Exploration is the heart of the game. Risk brings reward. Yeah, sail out, learn things, talk to people. Unforgiving mode is how the game is meant to be played. One autosave, updated whenever you reach port, and wiped on death. So that is truly, and this is part of what I was saying last night. That's the essence of roguelikes right there. You are submitting yourself to the meat grinder, and in a lot of cases, you're not going to survive. But when you do get the story bits, when you do get the rewards of like the little bits and pieces of lore, it's so worth it. On machines, your prow lamp dispels darkness, reduces terror increase, allows you to find Z marks. Your engines, of course, drive the ship forward into the night. This is important because the lanterns also keep your crew from seeing things in the darkness and allows them to see things in the darkness. It'll make sense as we move on. On finding places to explore, on fighting. Now, this is something I should probably read because I have an idea, but I'm not great with it. That doesn't help at all. Uh, okay. On new stories. Key of Dreams. That's cute. If you keep your book, you could use that. Alright, back to story. We're gonna skip the Submariner tutorial for now because I want to get into the little bits and pieces of lore. Your lodgings. Let's read the morning papers. The Unexpurgated Gazette, the magazine formerly known as the London Magazine. The Spiteful Trumpeter. News. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The traitor empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbladder wasps. You now have one of this. Recent news. You can't collect more than one recent news at a time. It's interesting because this is information that can be used as a resource. You can trade that recent news with other places that are further away from here because they want to hear about what's going on. You can trade that information for actual goods. Let's see. What's available right now? Nothing here. I have to leave. Okay. A Blemigan sits atop a splintered crate, clicking and whistling to the captains as they come near. Unlocked with no more than one Blemigan Gallivant. I don't know what those are. Visit the Admiralty Survey Office. They'll pay for information from Z captains. Find out what and how. Now that one, I guess we'll sign up for it. It's useful. The Admiralty's picket fleet's intelligence networks are long gone. The survey office pays sea captains a small sum for recent information. Visit investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them in here. First time you trade in a port report, you'll gain Admiralty's favor. No current commission. Let's see. This port. Speak to our agent there and return. We'll see that you're rewarded. Visit the port below and return to London. Okay? Retrieve strategic information from Gator's Mourn in the Corsair's Forest, somewhere not far from home waters. Good. We'll check that out. Don't have anything else at the moment. Out into the foggy street. Turn your collar up. Visit the university or the Woolstack docks if we had more stuff going on. Your heart's quality gives you an 81% chance of success. Unlocked with crew no more than 9. You have 8. Sensible sailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colonies, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You'll need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees, look for daredevils. Offer passage to the tomb colonists. You know what? Let's see if we can hire somebody. Lean pickings. Hearts failed. An eager-seeming crowd of sailors consumed all the beer you buy and then melts away. You're left with a single strabismic melancholy seaman who wants to know if he can bring his pickled monkey aboard. I'll pad the bottle with straw, he promises. You've gained one crew. Oh, well, we did get somebody. We could adopt the Bellingham Gallivanter. We could hire more crew. I'm just going to wait on that because we might find somebody. And let's take on a tomb colonist. Yeah, more friends. You died of no food. I completely missed that last chat. I actually have to move this slightly over here so I can see this better. Okay. Yeah, more often than not, what will kill me in this game, and I'll start like moving a little bit more quickly if we get to the point where we're operating on the roguelike mechanics a little bit more, um, is I tend to run out of fuel because I try to go places too much, and fuel is one of the most difficult resources to continually get back after you've been out to sea for a while, because not a lot of things trade for echoes. Mm. An emigrant will pay to be taken north to Venderbite. It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. The tomb colonist is in your hold. Take them north to the colony of Venderbite and sell them there. It's such a strange way to say that you're selling them because they're just um stasis pods, basically. If this were a space series, that's all that would be. You now have one ex-tomb colonist. Take the colonist to Venderbite. Can I take more than one? No? Okay. You know what? Let's see what this is. You extend your hand and the Blemmigan leaps on. Its tendrils entwine with your fingers and chitters quietly. It meets your gaze and bobs its dome in greeting. It's very small. Is it old enough for naval surface? You're pretty sure its mustache has been drawn on and penned in an attempt to look older. As you approach your ship's gangplank, the creature flutes and vibrates with apparent happiness. The bosun winces as you bring it aboard. You now have one. What a keen little mushroom. That's what the Blemigans are. They're little mushroom people. I forgot. Fake mustache drawn on in pen on his little mushroom guy with tentacles. Okay. A passenger. Someone in the docks wants to board your ship. She visits Wolfstack every day in Z-stained rags, begging for passage. No captain will look her in the eye. Agree to carry the unsettled salvager to Venderbite. Okay. He embraces you. I'd kiss you, my lady, but my beloved is prone to jealousy. We were parted, but the ancient captains at Venderbite will know where she is. The unsettled salvager is willing to sail far to find her. Someone in London requires your services. Death hath no more dominion. The blind helmsman is a Wolfstack institution, a centuries-old pub held together in the crust of fry smoke and the nautical mementos nailed to the walls. I think this is... Yeah, this is the Tales of Immortality. Okay, so we already read about that in the book. Take a look at our hold. Okay. I don't remember much of any of this. Your journal! Objectives and story progress are on the right side. Okay, cool. Alright. Officers. Mascots. Adds to mirrors and pages. Let's talk to the surgeon. Hello, my dear, my dear. Sit down carefully. Just let me tidy away these implements. We don't want any carelessness, do we? Uh, Ask after his desires and ambitions. He's traveled much, seen all manner of wound and malady, but is there anything left for him to discover? Any places he wishes to go? The keel in it! You know it. They collect corpses. He shifts in his seat. Vast, noble, complicated corpses. What I could learn, what I could see. My dearest Captain, if we ever do find ourselves in the Keelanet, I do hope we might see fit to release me from our arrangement. The Keelanet can be found somewhere in the far east of the Undersea. Okay. Talk to that Blemigan. It has made its home on a shelf in your cabin. It's built a nest from loose journal pages, the engineer's scarf, and a possibly pilfered map. You can see the indentation of a porthole in the rim of its cap. It must have been pressing its face to the windows again. Is it bored? Nothing awaits you. Time to leave this port? Okay. A ticklish thing. The ptarmigan flails and squirms as you tickle it. Its high-pitched warble is almost certainly giggling. When you stop to check that you're not actually hurting it, it wraps its tendrils around your fingers and pulls your hand back. Apparently it's enjoying itself. What about the ferret? It lies upon your desk like a lumpy scarf. Play. That eye roll says. Play. I played once in the happy warrens of London before you installed me in this floating cabin and made me eat dried food. Damn your play. It's an elegant eye roll. Here you can buy fuel, supplies, ship equipment, and trade goods. Shops are displayed on the left. Click on one to see its wares. Ratmen. There's actually a whole species of ratmen that exist in this world, like intelligent hamster people, intelligent rat people, the ferrets, the blemigans, like there's all these little subspecies of other elderworldly fae-like beings that exist down in Fallen London in the Undersea. One of the things that I really like about Fallen London itself is that cats are the keepers of secrets because they are able to gracefully transfer themselves both in and out of nobility and the stacks and the docks alike without really being stopped by anyone. They can break their way into any given building or window or door or whatever, or just wait patiently. But they're highly intelligent beings, capable of human speech. They just don't want to. Fuel. We have 55 echoes, or pounds. Fuel's 10 pounds per each. We start with 10. We'll see how many it really lasts for, as well as supplies, because that's the food. Foxfire candles. Wolf stack exchange. This is all the rare goods. Torpedo components. I could buy my own gun back. I don't know why I would. Different guns. Different engines. Different lamps. Okay. And different ships. Most I've ever managed to do is make it to the Lampad Cutter. I always wanted to get the Corvette. There's some neat ships that they've added to the game since then. Alright, was there anything else? No. That's it. We've done it. It's the end of the game. Setting sail. Click the launch button to leave port. Has the water noise settled into your brain yet? Has it just become background noise, normal to your ears? Let's see. How do I sail? I do not remember. Launch E. Okay. WSD to move, W twice to reach max speed, S to slow down and reverse, and D to steer. L for lamps. Okay. What was that? Yeah, the background music just becomes part of everything. I used to sleep to just having the music turned off and only the background audio on. And I had my laptop set up as basically, uh-oh, uh-oh. What did we find? You've encountered an opponent. The red arc shows a range of your deck gun. Keep the enemy in range while your crew works out a firing solution. This will happen faster if you keep the enemy in the prow light. The deck gun will be highlighted as your crew make progress towards a firing solution.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Don't want to fight that. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Bye. I'm out of here. No, 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 no. Leave me alone. I don't wanna. Just go away. We're docking here. But yeah, I used to have like the background audio as the soundscape of my bedroom and left it that way for about probably close to a year. So my hours played on this on Steam are a little skewed because of it. Light ship. Its clear bright beam warms the way. Could purchase fuel. No thank you. Speak to the crew. They long for news of home. I don't actually want to trade my news to them. Okay, moving on. Get away from that thing. And that click, click, click is something awaits me in port, it says. Interesting. So if I make it back to London, there's already story. Discovered Hunter's Keep. Wait, where was Hunter's Keep? Oh, it's up there. Okay. The world is webbed with invisible lines. You've crossed one. Tighten them, and it would split like a fruit. December 1st. Fed the crew. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Hunter's Keep. This hump of dark rock spotted in mist like 100 other undersea islands. But there's a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in the false starlight, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. Present yourself at the house. They've heard your ship come. Why hide? Walk in the gardens? Take a couple of burly sailors with you, just in case. But the gardens are tranquil as moonlight. Reconnoitre the island. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in a fold of grounds. Anything else? Spy on the house. This place may not be as simple as it seems. Your veil's quality gives you a 75% chance of success. So, where should we go? I do love the story beats that are in this place, and I know a few of the options on what can happen here. And any of the spots that are like close to the city are going to be the ones that I know the best, obviously, because I tend to come back to them as a bit of. Sorry, I'm just looking. My fuel is already down to 7. I've already used up 25% of my fuel. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, let's reconnoitre the island. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is on the heart of the isle, the house and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. Spy on the house? Piano music drifts across the terrace. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor, grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. Soon, she says, and the piano music falters and stops. We'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not for you. The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboard. Hush! If we don't speak of it, she frowns. Has she seen you at the window? You withdraw. You succeeded in the Veils challenge. You know something of Hunter's Keep. You've gained new fragments. They've heard your ship come in. Why hide? Knock and enter. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor where three young women wait. A visitor! The youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe, and the cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? You are now acquainted with the sisters of Hunter's Keep. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. You'll find a story when you next make port. Luncheon with the sisters. Cynthia, Lucy, or Phoebe. Cynthia is the eldest, melancholy, pensive, and occasionally dramatic. Lucy is the middle sister. She's sunny, restless, and prone to giggles. Phoebe is soft voiced, watchful, and unpredictable. News, news. Okay. Even when the sisters aren't feeling sociable, they can be tempted out of their lair by the smell of new stories. Let's talk to the oldest. Cynthia grabs your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you're sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake listening to the story of a murder. An axe. A net. Blood on scented water. Another chop, Cynthia asks. You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. You've gained one new terror. The fear of the wide black sea and things beyond. You now have a tale of terror. Recall it, then light a candle. Light another. That's all for now. You gained one new supplies. You're acquainted with the sisters. You've lost 12 hunger. Iron remains unchanged. Destroy. You now have the god of seas Salt's attention. Oh, by the way, the Lovecraftian gods, they can see everything that I'm doing as captain. They're watching intently. Alright, I'm going to take a drink here. And yeah, that's part of why I added that to the tags. So this is actually Lovecraftian horror. Okay. So I'm going to actually sail from here. And let's see what we can find back at... Well, we were told to head north. Let's see if we can make it to that other... with Venderbite. Let's see what we can find. You receive fragments when you discover new places. Acquire enough of them and you'll gain a secret. You can use secrets to improve your captain's skills by talking to officers or for some key stories. You've gained a secret. Speak to your officers to improve your abilities. Discovered Lower Barnett. 50 fragments gained. The bits and pieces of what you find... Well, pause for a sec. The bits and pieces of what you find while you're sailing out and about will spark conversations between the captain and the crew, and those conversations teach the captain, and those are the fragments and echoes and lessons that you canonically gain. Your power light can be turned on or off. Leaving it on reduces the rate at which you gain terror, but makes you more visible to enemies. Yeah, but if you turn it off, you also save fuel, because it burns fuel to run the lights. Found the Blackfinger Wastes. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, my logbook is all funky now. Brickfinger Wastes. There we go. Turn the lights off for a sec. Turn the lights back on. Found Davies Bay. Dust echoes, even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. Discovered Davies Bay. See if there's anything else to be discovered way out here. No? Continue on this way. Oh, something awaits me in port. This big old city wall blocking my lanterns. Discovered Carissa's Point. This place is so pretty. Discovered Horseman Stag. Oh, Horniman Stag. There's so many locations early on, and I'm like, these are all so cool. A lot of them don't even have story though, because there's no place to dock and actually like talk to anybody about them. They're just little spots that the creators are like, I like this. I'm gonna make this a thing. All right, let's see what town we found. It's Venderby. The trouble with tomb colonists. You've brought this decaying immigrant north. Now what? An absent friend. It is everything I imagined, he tells you breathlessly. But there's someone missing. Please, bring her to me. World fluff, yeah. There's a lot of world fluff with the just the locations of interest or points of interest. Feels a little bit like how they had an idea of what they were trying to do with Fallout 3, but never quite did anything besides just populate it with things to annoy you. She went off to the Mangrove College. She needed to get out of London, but Vanderbilt is just as safe as the college, and I'll wager she's bored of mud by now. Look for the shady sort in the Mangrove College, somewhere in the south of the Undersea. Okay, you've now lost one tomb colonist. Provide what you have promised. Oh. Okay, don't want to read those yet. On deck, you can hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. It's something like the world's most restless concert audience, or the world's most plague-ridden cathedral. Find captains to speak to the unsettled salvager. It shouldn't be too hard. What else could they have to do around here but molder? Assistant Specialized Collector. Explore Vendervite. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture, until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned. Visit the first curator. Captains, the first curator gives audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all of the oldest tomb colonists, but even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. Gather gossip. Who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? Do with the port report, or when something awaits me? Let's explore. I'm curious. An attack! You round a darkened corner and start down a broad boulevard lined with grimacing statues. There's a fluttering movement above, and a cloud of frost moss swoop down upon you. You beat them down. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yes, cities. Yeah, the theme behind all this, it's like a giant retirement community. Like, people are here and they come here to die, but death doesn't exactly exist. And oh, I don't want to like say much more. There's so much here. It's this story is so good. Let me just a sec here. My allergies are kicking my butt. One of those moments where I'm glad I actually don't have hand tracking, so you could see me flailing around right now. Like, yeah, you see the upper body, but not the hands. Okay. There's a fluttering movement above, and a cloud of frost moss swoops down upon you. You beat them down with your walking stick, and they are determined. They're the largest of the size. Wait. And the largest of the size of Z-bats, but they're fragile. At last they retreat, leaving 3 of their number melting into the water. Wait, melting into water? Wait, frost moths, they melt into water? On the pavement. Their wings are marked with patterns that resemble letters. You peer at them, but the script is already dissolving. What happened here? Let's see if I can move a thing real quick. It's gonna help me see stuff just a little better. Oh, that actually works kind of well. Okay. Well, maybe that's a little too close. Back to the tomb colony. Who's plotting what? Along the coast of the Undersea, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become two colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. You now have one of this, a port report. Good. Is there anything else? Ah, okay. Find ancient captains to speak to the unsettled salvager. Terrible bad luck. The assortment of decrepit sea captains gathers around her, compelled by tradition, honor, or boredom. She picks her nails and closes her eyes when at last she speaks. I want to find Lady Black. The captains that can run do. The rest shuffle away as quickly as they are able. Only one remains behind. How long were you down there? He asks. 20 minutes, she replies. The captain puts his hand on her shoulder. Seek the house of the keel in Polythreme. Polythreme, he says. But if you can forget her, do. It's possible. He embraces her and departs. Bound for Polythreme, the unsettled salvager is willing to sail far to find her. I forgot that was somebody that was hanging out on the ship with me. Okay. No more light. The obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door and you step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A banded shape no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. Listen to a whispered request? Ask about the Grand Sanatorium, accept the commission, or depart for now. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up. I don't think this captain's going to survive to do this quest because we're already picking up like a number of very large quest tags basically that are probably going to get me killed. But we'll see what this one can do.
See, Captain, Zookskin, not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors. 7 colors. Pay well. Cosmogon, Irgo, Pelican, Steward has list. Find them there and here across the wide Black Sea.
Ask about the Grand Sanatorium. One hears the name whispered here and there in the arcades of Enderbite.
Oh, what's Zookskin? You don't want to know.
The chuckling becomes a cough.
We don't die here below. Not unless we go to sea. So we needed something else. Somewhere to end.
Accept the commission.
Thank you. This poor flesh thirsts for colors.
It collapses, rustling, back on the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As a door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods.
The book. Yes, the book.
He hands you a slim, illustrated volume.
The curator is old. Old as dust. We'll all be grateful if you do us this one last favor.
You now have one of this, the Neathbow. A book for children. One page is devoted to each of the colors of the Nice, which are not found on the surface. Return to the curator with each of the 7 impossible colors in hand. The book's pages give you clues, but you'll need to seek far ports. Halcyon, the blue of memory and brightest coral. Sea lights cosmogon, the color of remembered suns. The fecund and the fetid, the fungal, these flourish in the glow of cosmogon. Gant, which remains when all other colors are eaten. Gant can be found where the shadows are myriad. Irigo, no one remembers why. Irigo colors the forgotten corners of home. P drowns in pelican, the color of the deepest sea. Someone has scrawled in the margin, beyond the gate there is a sea more sunless. That's terrifying. V marks violent. When blood is shed in a spired place, violent ink is employed for the most desperate treaties. Behind your mirror, V names Vieric, the color of shallow sleep. Just there's so many neat things. I love I love just talking about world fluff. That is what world fluff needs to be, is that kind of flavor text. Like that's what brings me back to this game. Take a look at the shops. Fuel is 20 here. Supplies 30. I can sell my recent news here. Interesting. If I had more tomb colonists, I could sell them here. Good to know that I can make some form of run back and forth between here and there. Officers, shops. Okay, so that's it for here. Move this up. Fed the crew. Fed the crew? We weren't even moving. Whatever. See if we can find anything else along this western shore before I head back down to London. You've gained a secret. Speak to your officers to improve your abilities. Pickett's Bluff. Everything's so dark and shadowy over here. Is it because of the rocks? I don't want to run into them because they will hurt my ship. Boreal Reach. In this snow. Touch it, and it puffs to vapor. Your crew huddles close to the warmth of pipe and funnel. Johanneston. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment, then faints. Discovered Censor's Arch. This place is beautiful and terrifying. Johannestonston. 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 Johannesson. Johannesson. Town. Johannestonston. We've discovered Wither. Beyond the great arch over the bay, the pale waste stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. From here you might almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. Wither's a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sites tucked away. The citizens of Wither enjoy questions, so much so that they always answer a question with another question. This can make intelligence gathering frustrating.
Are you asking for any particular reason? At what time of day? Is that your hat? Might it be 6? It could be 6. Eventually you cobble together enough implication and supposition to compose a report. Uh, Shore we... Shore, leave, and wither. You have 5 terror. I need 50? 50! I could spend all of my echo to get some beer here. No, we're not doing that. Who'll try? Who'll buy? A street vendor turns skewers on a grill. Mixed scents are nothing like anything sold in London. Try the grilled troglodyte prawns. Huge and pale, and their eyes stare bleakly into yours, but they smell fresh. Beer. Oh, you say beer? Okay. Tough challenge. My heart's quality is not great for these. The shredded jellyfish, not to everyone's taste. Try something mysterious. What exactly is Tyrant's treat? The vendor is vague. It looks something like a charred stick dripping with bluish fluid. I'm gonna do the prawns. I mentioned them in the intro. Not bad at all. Tangy and toothsome. Walk on, chewing cheerfully. You've lost 2 terror. You've gained 1 fragment. You've lost 5 hunger. That's all for now. Well, that's good. Perhaps not. Let's head back to London. Oh, there's the salt pools. I just noticed them in the upper corner. They're all different colors. We're gonna do a stealth drive on no lanterns. We're gonna terrify the crew on the way down because I am running out of fuel. And I guess we'll have to carouse the Wolfstack docks and get beer there. Gotta keep the crew happy. Fed the crew. Uh-oh. We're down to 3? 3. Okay. And while they're feeding the crew, I'm gonna feed myself a bite of this burrito. Oh, I love the bats. Uh-oh. Oh no, I'm in a fight with bats. I guess I don't get to eat just yet. Alright, let's see if we can figure out how to fight bats. Lanterns on. Deck weapon active. Fire. Okay. Oh no. Ow. Okay. Congratulations, you defeated your opponent. Move to the side of their demise to salvage something. All clear. Little leathery corpses lie scattered across your deck. The rest of the warm vanishes into the inky dark. Dispose of the corpses. Their mere touch leaves you shuddering. Gather up the corpses. They're succulent with stolen blood. Into the pot. Well, I'm hungry. You've gained 1 new supplies. You gained 1 new terror. Those little bones are troublesome, and the flesh is a little gamey, but salt them well enough and they're quite edible. Suffered 5 damage. Always concerning. Repairing the ship isn't the easiest thing to do, but we are working with the Admiralty's office on this run, so that means I have access to repairs. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Alright. I looked away too long. You would think my sailors would have done something about steering the ship. No, they just watched the captain as she sailed directly into that wall. Captain, Captain, you sure you Captain? Captain?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I sneezed. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, well. Oh, I read through all of that with so much voice. It's too bad I also can't go back to any of the story plot points in this because once you've read it and you hit the button, that's it. You don't have a journal that you can actually reread any of the interactions. It's all good, hun. This game just kind of becomes an audiobook after a while, especially when you get people that can read the different characters with different voices. Used to be a bit of a family experience. Let's see here. We are still very low on fuel. We're about to spend all of our money on fuel. This is not going to be fun. Hopefully the Admiralty's office will have something for us. Mm. Nah, that was me. Well, I guess a good question is, how loud is the game audio? Are you able to like hear the music and the engines and stuff as we're going? Okay, cool. So yeah, that's definitely a me thing, not you. Let's see here. Your lodgings. Here you may catch up with your correspondence, rest, or retire altogether. A little gift. A very fine evening to you, Captain. Let's see here. Let's go to our lodgings. Uh, Pen Echo. Okay. Heal a wound and give you a restful night if you do not already have one. London. Visit the survey's office. Visit the university. Browse. Hire on more crew. Okay. Let's go to the survey office. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of our enduring majesty nominally. Notionally. You've gained 5 echo. You now have 1 favor. Your visit to Hunter's Keep has been confirmed by the Admiralty office. You've gained 1 new fuel, a total of 2. What have the nearly dead been up to then? I refuse to ask any questions. I don't want to give them the satisfaction. Wither, the town where everybody only talks in questions. At least we're gaining some fuel for all this. Okay, can ask to speak to the Admiral himself, which, I don't know, maybe he'll have something for me. No appointment, but, apparently. I'm to show you in anyway. Very well. He ushered into the office of Mansion Pyre, a cramped room with a vast desk. He surveys you across that desk. Ah, yes, the merchant captain of whom we hear such complicated things. The Admiral will purchase intelligence from you. Do, do, do. Submit port reports, ask what he needs, or return to the docks. Hello, Buster. Information. Visit a port and will be interested in the port report. Visit places of particular interest and will be interested. I hate that they said this way. In the strategic information you gain thereby. We will pay you well, don't worry. We understand you can't be expected to act entirely for the love of the Empire. Slip curls. What's left of it. Okay, buddy. Thanks for the fuel, I guess. Visit the university. The university has an inexhaustible appetite for secrets, sea specimens, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. Provide a secret to prove yourself worthy of entry.
Quite impressed. Oh yes, the university's maritime liaison, Bristers Breathley. Oh yes, this is quite the tasty one. Let me explain it to you. He? Explains, teeth glinting. I love that. I forgot the liaison is non-binary, and your captain never quite figures it out. It's really fun. Look at them. Look at this goofball. The alarming scholar is a mercurial, to say the least. A creature of sudden moods and provoking teeth. Possibly her? Is it her? Appointment at University Maritime Liaison is precautionary to keep is it his? Razor Tarp enthusiasm from causing too many injuries at the faculty. Ah yes, the scholar whispered breathily. I have a budget for acquisitions. What have you brought me? If you have any knowledge items that the scholar will buy, they'll appear below. A memory of distant shores. Pick one piece of this is really hard. A frequent piece of picaresque pilgrimage. As the alarming scholar listens, tears well in the depths of those shining, or is it blazing, eyes. They overflow, splashing onto the desk blotter. Stop! She sobs at last. This is too beautiful. Allow me to bring the macaw of memories I wish each individual tone recalled. Favor's antiquarian is increasing. You've lost one distant memory of shores. Let's leave her now. You have business to attend to, and besides, the scholar keeps snapping her teeth like a mechanical trap. They chomp chomp. Oh, I don't have access to that one. I was about to type it in there. Let's see. Ooh. Tippy Tap Longsmanes. I forgot that I named myself. Captain Tippy Tap Longsmane. We have fragments. Ah, yes. No. So many things. Okay. Hire on more crew, which I don't need to do right now, and I'm actually short on money. Ah. Let's rent a room. Terror is low, but food is also halfway. Okay. You now have one restful night. This will strengthen you when you struggle against nightmares. The rats keep you awake of nights with their muttering and skirmishing, but the bed is warm and the door has a lock. Should I talk to this fellow? This person holding a kitchen knife? Mildly concerning. Let's see. I think where are we sitting at for the moment? 113. I'm gonna go ahead and take a short break because I'm getting a little winded and my back's getting a little stiff. So I'm gonna take a short walk around the house. Anybody else that's also been watching for a minute, I also recommend you go ahead and stretch. We'll be right back with more stories shortly. Transition this over and play some music. Maybe. If it wants to work with me. Also don't necessarily want to break the vibe that we've got going on with the music so far. You know what? Maybe this will summon somebody. Alright. I will be right back.
One of the things I'm going to need to do is remind myself later to make a separate card for a medication break, because that is kind of necessary with my process here. And eventually I'm going to have to figure out how to handle that in the new home, because my understanding is it's going to be a no smoking inside the actual streaming area, which I understand, but oh, I'm a medical patient. Come on. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Rolling myself a little something before I continue here. So yeah, what do you folks think of the story and the style of gameplay? Because this is something that, like, I've been wanting to do basically for the last 8 years since I started originally checking out Sunless Sea, and um, never really like felt good enough about my voice to be able to openly hit both the upper range and lower range comfortably conversationally while trying to read through this stuff. Never seen anything. Okay, so I've got a lot more stories for you then. They're not all just Lovecraftian horror. One of the games that I really like that I'd mentioned earlier, Escape Velocity Nova, is basically a choose your own adventure done in this style of Cowboy Bebop. Like, you can get involved in some pretty crazy stuff in that one, and I really enjoy the way that it feels a lot quicker to get into a different storyline, different story path, or a new ship. This one, I know that Sunless Sea is designed where you are intended to die a lot more often, and you are intended to play through multiple attempts to even get through like one story path, whereas EP Nova is designed more around your one character living through an entire saga. But yeah, I love this style of game. There's a few that I've got in my library that are like this. I'm gonna actually have to go digging for my old licensing for EV Nova. I know that if you use a shareware version of it, or just an unregistered version of it, there's an actual character in the game called Captain Shareware that will show up and just wreck your shit. Okay, let's see. This music's so silly for this. Does not match at all. It's really nice though. Very useful as a short break. A little bit of a palate cleanser. Now I might need to actually go in here and I'm not sure if there's more audio tracks than what has been played so far, and I'm probably gonna have to turn this down the second that it starts playing music again, because what I have heard in game has been pretty loud, but I'm not certain if there's just quieter stuff that I've been missing here. Let's see. Also trying to get this thing to stay lit so I don't have to keep addressing it, messing with the camera. Okay. Right. So, just finished the lodgings. We are still very low on fuel. We have 4 and started with 10. 4. No.
Exploration stories are much more profitable. I mean, it says that, but I've always had issues with this. And food is so difficult to get a hold of. I guess I'm expected to fight stuff more often as far as the food goes and not get hit by them. Okay. Well, here we go. To the south. Since that was what our original mission was in the first place. Fed the crew. Oh wait, did I just go into the wrong spot? Yep, I did. Back up. Oh, no. I didn't know I could use supplies that way. That's neat. Okay, that answers that question. The music's there. It's just loud as hell. Blood on the wind. That's not concerning at all. We've entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. A tiny breeze stirs your hair and dies. Discovered the Murray Straits. Okay. And Mutton Island, apparently. Quaker's Haven. I think there's a dock there. I'm just not sure where. Once the simple fishing village was part of the London suburbs, before London fell and the waters rushed in. Smoke spirals from cottage chimneys. A lonely hill rises behind the town. A wandering parson, he glances nervously back at the cock and magpie. His handshake is strong. So I need to learn more about this place. What is it? Whoa. Alright, Chatterino, back up. Lucrative beliefs in Lower Barnet. But Lower Barnet? Wait a sec. You know, I might have been wrong about the points of interest. There might be stuff that isn't available until, because like Lower Barnet is one of the first points of interest you find. And like I get that this place is also connected to being right close to the beginning, but there's no way to interact with that point of interest. There's nowhere to land, there's nothing to scan. You get there, your lanterns scan over it, and your crew's like, "Yep, that's Lower Barnet." But there's apparently something here in the story that I could learn about that. So I'm curious. When time is passing on Mutton Island. Okay. So yeah. I have to have my ship capable of being able to go under the undersea. Unlocked with 20 Echo, you have 30. Unlocked with Terror 1, you have 7. Another day. Time is passing. Well, we were looking at getting a beer in the north. Let's do it here. This place seems nice. Wow, there's a lot to be done here. And I have to choose one. Buy supplies from the dockside stall. A rosy-nosed merchant has stocked crates of mushrooms and dried fish. It's the best you can do here. Buy fuel from a dockside stall. 20 fuel. Ooh. Crates of coal. There's not much wind on the undersea, but Mutton Island suffers eerie gusts and buffets from an inexplicably local fragment of weather, and the air on the hilltop sometimes carries interesting scents. Interesting. Chat to the fishermen. They all sail the sea around the island. They mend their nets by the harbor. They see all that happens here, but you'll need coin to open their mouths. Pick up a wretched mog.
Ow, ow.
A yellow-eyed, mangy, piebald thing winds around your ankles like a manacle chain. You've never seen a cat's mouth open that wide. Presumably, it's hungry. Explore the shore. Wander a little way along the shore from the dock. Something awaits you. I think I want to go to the hilltop. Toasting the wind. You stand on a cliff top looking over the little village. Smoke from the chimney of the Cock and Magpie drifts straight upwards. As you watch, the smoke tilts. The sudden wind thins it to a pencil smudge, then nothing. The wind screams unexpectedly, like a god cut in half. What a noise! It must be the caves around the island channeling the air. At least that's the most comforting explanation. Below you, the locals each take nips from a shared flask and make a toast towards the mainland. The wind is southerly. You succeeded in a pages challenge. You've gained 2 terror. That's all for now. Huh? Okay. Chat with the fisherman for 10. Drinks at the Cock and Magpie for 20. Let's go drink. Cider and cave dory. The trees beneath are scraggly and wretched, scraping and living with parasynthesis. But the apples of Mutton Island are tart and powerful, perfect for cider. Cider? Cider! This stuff is stronger than it looks. You stretch out in your seat, stare through the leaded window at the safely moored ship, and find yourself whistling. The landlord gives you a friendly grin and goes back to whetting his cleaver. You've lost 1 terror. You've lost 20 echo. What up, Sharp? Good to see you, hon. We're doing a Tell 'em Up story playthrough of Sunless Sea, and just kind of scooting along and reading everything that we come across because that's kind of the point of this game. Exploration is the way you get from point to find your story, and as you go to each location, it's like a little chapter in a choose your own adventure book. You can only do so many things per day and only so many things per port. Then you have to move on and check out what else is available. And along the way, you're likely to run out of food or fuel, and we're constantly fighting both those things. Let's see. The last one we have that we can do here is going to be chat with the fisherman. It's going to take up the last of our gold, but I do want to see what they have to say. Pirates plying the waves, smugglers at their work. Planet ships putting in to resupply. Nothing dramatic, but enough to interest the Admiralty. You now have one of this, a port report, Quaker's Haven. Whew. Cool. So that one means that I'm going to get some more fuel from them. So it made turning into this port worth it. Let's take a look. And should we pick up another mascot? We've already got a ferret and a mushroom. Do we want a cat? Oh, I would have to use up supplies. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, what else do they have here? Okay. Get the cat. If I get that cat, my crew is going to starve. It takes one of my 3 supplies. Do you think the cat's gonna feed the crew? Like, is it gonna just catch bats for us? How about this? We'll come back for the cat, since I have to come back through here to get to Fallen London to turn in my port reports. But we've got a little bit of food and a little bit of fuel left that we can head further south and see if we can find anything interesting. After that, it's probably gonna hit the end of the run, because if I can't get fuel from anything interesting that happens from there, I guarantee I'm going to run out on my way out. We got a long ways to go. I want to point out, the map is huge, and we've only just begun to touch some of the story points. Ooh, what's this? Little ships throng the waters here. The crew grow wistful. They swap old stories of sunlit sea. We draw near to the Crimean Canal, the way to the surface. There's this. Hmm. Fed the crew. Discovered the Crimean Canal. You're low on supplies. Discover the Albertine Gates. A Gilliflower. Ugh. No, 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 no! One more. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah! Hopefully that thing will feed us. The Gilliflower. Is it a young jellyfish, a lesser subspecies? Did the dreams of jellyfish become real? In any case, now it's a sad slick of goo dissolving into the sea. Perhaps you can eat it. Better yet, perhaps your sailors can. Let it disperse. Watch its oil rainbow colors fade. What? Port report visage? Oh, I want to feed the crew, but I want to know what that is. You now have one sea story. From above, the Gilliflower's cap looks a little like a woman's face. She dissolves like smeared paint. Oh, okay. Well. Num 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 num. Do you think they taste like jelly beans? The Crimean Canal staging area. The canal ascends through locks and gates and shadowed turns to the sunlight at the surface. Travel to the surface? The sun is dangerous to Neath dwellers like your crew, but the surface has its temptations. I have... Yeah, what? Listen for surface gossip. Gather information for a port report. Many ships pass this way, but perhaps you'll pick up something they missed. Business as usual. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe in all the undersea, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping the way open. A card game ends badly when one surface sailor knifes another for all the usual reasons. The other players scrabble for the coins that spill from her pockets, but you snatch up a scrap of paper they overlook. Curious markings, dates, times, code names, spies work. You now have 1x moves in the great game. I want to point out my Fallen London character actually is in the great game, so this is personally interesting to me, and I might actually end up playing some Fallen London at some point as like a short blurb in between things on this channel. It depends on whether or not we have continued interest in the story. All right. Well, I can sell things here. A sluggish and hostile merchant squints warily. A few goods of indifferent quality are available. I could sell things here. Useless. Take a look at our map. Regret not getting food or eating that jellyfish. Here we go.
Catherine's Arch. I would love to see some concept art of what this place looks like from like a side view from the ship's deck. I would love to also make some art about that. I don't know. The world of Sunless Sea is beautiful and terrifying, and I love it. And it's funny that I spend as much time as I do, like creeping along the shoreline, but it is a good way to get a lot of fragments and stories quickly. Sizzling vapors rise from the sea. Time slips sideways. A coiled rope has stung a stoker, and his fellows beat it to death. We are under the hand of the Iron Republic. Whoa. Distant bells. You gained a secret. You discovered the Iron Republic. Would you look at that? Adam's Doom. Who wants to fight and why? It just says unfinished. That person had way more health than this ship, though. You discovered Van Horn Harbor. Hell's client state. Be wary, their laws are not the laws of man or nature. Factory engines roar like false lions. Blood thunders in the dock pipes. Crimson lightning skitters across the deck, leaps to the rail, curls there like a cat. The city is reflected in glassy calm harbor water. The citizens there have the heads of dogs and serpents. Hell has brought freedom from the Iron Republic, freedom from all laws, even those of nature. Days in the Iron Republic, no more than 4. Need Stygian ivory. Need echoes. Okay. Parliament of Lies. The Market of Hungers, with its spires and sigils, is a parody of the bazaar. Today its flies fill its arcades. Buzz buzz. The Merc folds. Visit the shops tab. You gained one terror. You've gained 1 fragment. I could buy fuel for very cheap here. I don't know what most of these are. The flies will caress you with their wings. Hurry up and purchase something. Compile a port report. It won't be entirely straightforward. The streets won't lie straight, and the ink freezes whenever you look away from the inkwell. The sensations of the Republic are overwhelming. This is a desire for years, that is a hatred for fountains. Here is an emotion that can only be expressed mathematically. Now you are now you are awash with a nostalgia for the hatching of the egg. Write it down. Write it all down. Perhaps you'll be rid of it. You've gained 1 new tale of terror. You now have 1 memory of distant shores. The shops haven't changed. Okay. For lack of supplies and food, we're gonna head north and hope for the best, but we are about to starve. Maybe I can get lunch with the sisters. Yep. Hunger usually is what ends a lot of runs. Hunger or fuel. Or being attacked by one of the giant crustaceans. Whoa. Your hull is damaged. Yes, I'm well aware.
Blue lightnings crawl leisurely up the funnel. St. Erasmus dancing! The cry goes up. Fed the crew. So pretty. The lighthouse out here. Discovered Moody's Light. Is there no way for me to land here? The wilder airs mingle with the airs of the near reaches. Demo's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Far off, very far off, someone screams. Little ships throng the waters here. The crew grow wistful. Okay. It's Quaker's Haven again. We don't have money though. The sailor's brain. Wonder what they're praying to. Wrong button. Our fuel reserves are empty. Well, I guess I'm making a turn directly into Fallen London instead of going to the Sisters first. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. Distant bells. I also want to note that we have sailed the ship for a total of 2 weeks canonically. 2 weeks! And we are out of fuel and out of food. 2 weeks! We're at 0 and 0. Collect messages from the Harbor Master. Are there messages for you? Let's see. Something has changed underneath. Another day. Time the healer. Your time at Z will change you. And London. Someone wants to sign on. You now have a free day and a free evening. The Rose Market bustles on Roser's Wharf. Who will be there today? Without fuel, your ship is just an oddly shaped house located somewhere you really don't want to live. Make a sacrifice to Storm. This will require to draw lots. This will require a death. Oh, I had no idea I could do that. Consider a specialist surgeon. She's staying at the respectable boarding house near the docks, has made it known that she's available for work. I specialize in amputations. It's easy to acquire unwanted appendages at sea. Your talents could be well employed on your vessel. Could be unlocked if you had the coin. The Rose Market caters to collectors and eccentrics, anyone with exotic tastes and gumption to harass Z captains. According to the archaic rules of the market, you can only make one trade per visit. Choose wisely. People at the Rose Market will pay above the usual price for specific goods. A prim baronet is looking for an unread log. A tattooed courier will pay well for the consignment of Scintillac. Escort some interested acquaintances to the Rose Market. They hope to make a satisfying trade. This will usher in a new day at the Rose Market, and perhaps new buyers. They hope to make a satisfying trade. Puppet praise. Puppet plays press on uninterrupted. Personal collections grow. Words written in fogged mirrors are hastily wiped away. The exotic exchanges pollinate dreams. The Rose Market bustles on the Roser's Wharf. You've lost another day. I have nothing of value to these people, and I've wasted my evening, but it was worth looking. Your lodgings. I can't even afford a night. Oh no. Why does it offer for me to go here if I can't actually do anything? Speak of moves in the great game. Whispers. He has you repeat it all twice. He doesn't take notes. It's a little beyond me, he tells you, but I have a friend in the palace who'll be interested. Very interested. Thank you. Your fee. You've gained 30 new echo. Hell yes! Submit your port reports. Well, I've been there. I suppose I may as well hear about it. The fee is nominal, though. You gain 5 echo. The Iron Republic. Excuse me. I need to unlock this. And this. Oops. And this. Could you place your report inside? Yes, I imagine someone will read it eventually. There's always someone. No, I didn't expect that to happen. Well, perhaps it's for the best. Some reports should not be reported. No, no, don't concern yourself. That was my third best suit, and the Admiralty offers modest allowance for document-related damage. Perhaps it's best if you leave now, though. Good day. It turned into fuel. What else? More port reports. Quaker's Haven. Been trying the original rubbery lumps, have we? Gain 5 echo, gain favor, gain fuel. Good. Oh. I guess I don't have more port reports. Ask what he needs. Assistance with subsistence. He wants more information. Yeah. My hull is pretty damaged. The quartermaster is not usually friendly, but you have enough sailors' jokes and harbor gossip to set her laughing nostalgically. She's remarkably literal about the measurement of fuel. You've gained 3 new fuel. You've lost 1 favor. Alright. It's helpful. The Alarming Scholar. A sea story. Thrilling. Let me hear every detail. First, I must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider impaled on the nib. Excuse me. Let me. Good heavens, it's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. Do you have another pen? Aw. I love the antiquarian. They're so silly. Okay, so we've made some good money here. And there's, to be sure, nothing I can do at the Rose Wharf. Okay. Lodgings. Specialist surgeon. Let's look at lodgings. You lost 10 echo. You lost 1 terror. Restful night hasn't changed because it's higher than 0. Okay. Shipyard. Shops. I could buy food. If I buy food, they'll eat it immediately. I could sail and get food. Let's just buy the food. Feed, feed, feed the crew. Don't worry, you'll all be eating each other soon enough. What was I just saying? Hmm. Okay. So, we have another story beat here that we're being offered, and it is one that will extend my chances of survival a little bit, but it also puts us in debt to some people. I could do that, and I might do so if I come back here and we are completely out of all other supplies, but let's try and avoid that for now. And the crew. Ba ba da ba 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 da. Actually, if we can meet with the sisters, they will also give us more supplies. Although I need to remember to just drop in there on my way back when the crew's already hungry. Because they'll take care of that. I guess let's just go due east. See what we find. Oh, we like to talk about secrets, would we? Secrets are my very favorite. He likes to sit very close when he speaks, the plausible surgeon, and he speaks familiarly of diseases and hauntings, as if he knew their first names, but chose not to disclose them out of courtesy and discretion. This makes some of his advice confusing, but you do learn intriguing details. You gain pages, but you've lost a secret. Ask about his desires, the keel in it. Okay, moving on. The waves are cluttered with zebra, like drowned hair drifting. Oh, I see a thing. Oh no. Heal the wounded, dampen the flames. You've pushed your engines too far, too fast. Sailors scream and flames rage. Everywhere hot metal and burning flesh. Hold on and pray. You lost 12 hull. You've lost 3 crew. Oh no! Oh no! We are not doing great. Eat it. We now have a strange catch. It's gone, and you were left with gooey gloves and a buttery smell. And this purple thing. Is it an egg? A heart? A less fortunate traveler, dissolved and shriveled to mob ruin? Put it somewhere safe. You now have a strange catch. Oh, the fights in this are so difficult. All clear. We are so damaged and so hungry. In fact, how close are we to Hunter's Keep? If I can get there before the crew gets too hungry. Come on, 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 come on. We're gonna run out of food. It's gonna suck. Please. uh, don't feed them, don't feed them. We're right there. It's gonna be a great feast. Everybody's gonna have a lovely time. They're totally. Oh no, you ate! You ate, and now you're full of food. The vampires that live here are gonna eat you. Time to talk to Lucy. Oh, reconnoiter the island. You now have a new port report. Lucy leans over and whispers to you, confidentially, a complex story about a butler, a pig, and inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic and the butler in the vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. That's all for now. You're now acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. You've gained supplies. You have the God of Stone's attention. News. Knock and wake. You ask the sulfur-dyed maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with the message their headaches are cured, and you're invited to lunch. Cynthia, tell us what you must. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are white and blue. Her hair is wild. Oh, we've already read this one. Okay. They're all indisposed. Okay. Cool. So that netted us 2 more meals. Our ship is very damaged, and we basically just broke everything for nothing. So I have to call in a bunch of repairs, and we might be able to convince some crew to join, but this isn't gonna be easy or lucrative. Also, I don't know if there actually are vampires on that island. The maid isn't human. That's why she has topaz eyes. It's one of the things I really like about her. I can't remember what she is, though. Our ship is moving so slow now. It's so busted. Oh, some sort of a beetle has invaded your morsel of ship's biscuit. It waggles its antenna impertinently. I know, the ship is so beaten up. Just crawling back into the docks. I want that ship, that big one over there that's hanging out in dry dock. Give me that one. At least it looks like it'll survive being attacked by a jellyfish. An inspection by the Ministry of Public Decency. Some things are too illegal for the Customs Service to admit the existence of. The Ministry are here looking for those. You shrug and invite them to search your ship as thoroughly as they'd like. There's nothing wrong here. Nothing to hide. They leave scuff marks on the newly scrubbed decks and take a great pleasure in tangling the rigging. They find nothing more dangerous than the moldy ship's biscuit. And that beetle! There was that beetle in there. Collect messages from the harbor master. Something has changed in the sea. Someone wants to sign on. That's all for now. A new surgeon? The tattoo parlor. A merchant venturer. An urchin tugs your sleeve. I have need of a reliable agent. Failing that, an inventive one. Here are my requirements. He has very specific needs, but he'll pay much better than market rates, and he won't ask how you came by these things. A dream and a scheme. Okay. Find something intricate. Find them in buried treasure, broken museums, pirate cargoes, now and then the stomachs of monsters. Good luck. I need 7. Don't ask why. 1,500 echoes will answer all your questions. Something forlorn. You can find it in Irem, or in Dreams. I don't know which is easier to find. Actually, they sell it down in Wolfstack, but there's even... Where's the romance of that, or the profit? 700 echoes for 7 bales. God, having that many echoes right now would be amazing. Commemorate your daring. This will increase your iron by 2 permanently and cure up to 25 points of terror. Our terror is pretty high right now. And our iron is not great. Unlocked with 1 Tale of Terror. I don't want to use it up, because I could trade that still, but I don't know to who. We'll wait. So many things, and I'm very much having to consider the little gift. Let's see. Read the morning papers. Get some news. Get some supplies. Lose some terror. Alright, that's helpful. Rest in a room. I don't think I should do that. Browse the Wolfstack docks. Another free evening. Let's see. You might run into trouble or romance. A good night out. Sea shanties, good companionship, and the warmth of a pub fire. You were fortunate. You've lost 5 terror. You've lost 19 echo. Oh no, that's all my money. You now have 1 recent news. You now have lost 1 day. Okay. Hire on more crew. We're out of money. A new recruit. Who awaits my attention? Someone wants to sign on. I hope I didn't mess up the order of all this. Admiral. Hunter's Keep. I mean, yeah, we're gonna need the fuel. Success, eventually. Hearts failed. You gain 2 fuel. Okay, that's fine. Um, hmm. Payment is in kind, not in currency. Well, the rats are hardly an hour into their work when trouble begins. Someone's surly, speechless rat steed eats someone else's packed lunch. Someone's hot-blooded friend eats the rat steed. The rats exchange crosswords, then blows, then shots. The ensuing battle sweeps across your ship and disappears down the dock. At least they didn't have time to eat much. You were unlucky. You gained 10 hull. You gained 10 terror. You've lost supplies. Uh, well, wait. If I go to that doesn't help. Perhaps not. Admiral. No. Needs 3 favors. And all these are done. Okay. Shoot. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My, what you might call, mentor is very fond of adventurous sea captains, and he'd like to offer you what you might call a dispensation, on account of he is so fond of sea captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the dock stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. Accept this dispensation. Do make sure you have 15 points of space in the hold or come back later. It would be embarrassing to have to leave it on the dock. Inquire further. Who is this patron? Is there a catch? Refuse. Too good to be true. No, we're going to take this. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that you perhaps someday might choose to call upon him at the Medusa's head. Should that day come, we'll make you very welcome and give you any safe conduct what you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. You've gained 10 fuel, you've gained 5 supplies, you've accepted the proposal. You now have 1 menace of suspicion. Oh, you rapscallion. This will increase as you conduct criminal activities or have contact with the rough sorts. The higher your suspicion, the more fiercely the excise will search your ship. Alright. That feeds the crew. That takes care of the fuel issue. We still don't have crew. I want to say even if I do this, unlocked with 5. Increase crew by 1. We're now at 4. Uh, yeah, okay. No need to delay the inevitable. Let's just get out to sea. Oh, this is terrible. I wish it were possible to go a little faster in this. Like, I get that my ship's damaged, but even at top speed, I wish it were possible to go faster than the actual top speed. This is silly. Well, this is gonna be a minute. Oh. I gotta say, there's, well, breath of change passes. Something awaits you in port. I could turn right back around already, and there'd be more story stuff for me. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is trolling me. There's a whole extra game that's part of the series called Sunless Skies that is flying space trains in the Lovecraftian abyss, I guess. I don't actually fully understand. I do know that the combat's a little bit more forgiving about it. I don't know how much more story of anything there is. Obviously, like, there's so much here that I can just sit here and read all night. We've been doing this for hours.
Uh-oh. I don't want to fight you. Leave me alone. No. Ah. What's the button for this? It's 1. Okay. Ow. We are down to 4 whole. Every time. You gain supplies. Cool. You know what? There's a thing we can do here. I just don't remember how. How do I access? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wait. If your hull's at 50% or better, so it's too late to try and use that to repair myself. Dang it. This game is brutal. There's a whirlpool there. And another light ship. Have I been to this one? No, I haven't. Maybe I can bring on more crew from here. I hope. Let's see. A belch of smoke goes up from the funnel. A breeze stirs your hair and dies. Speak to the crew. They long for news of home. You've lost 5 terror. You have 1 new sea story. In the bleaching glare of the lens, amongst the smell of oil and metal, you sip tea and chat. The sea's terror recedes. Okay. That was something. We traded information. Let's see it's further out this way. Hmm. Pigmote Island. Let's see what we find here. Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. We enter the snares. Saints Haven. On a lonely desert beach, there's no habitation in sight. No market, only an old rotting dock. The stretch of sand thickens into damp black earth from which sprout stunted palms? Not quite. Tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone had sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. Disembark and see what awaits you. War! As you step onto the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shooting. You see off in the distance smoke rising from beyond the hill.
two dots of fire flecking the horizon. Two tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach. The following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Sea Captain from London to Irem and what we did before we arrived. Washed ashore on Mutton Island and subsequently serialized in the unexpurgated Gazette. The author's identity remains unknown. The Tale of Pigmote Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, a war is declared, a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. The delegation. The figures were rodents. Okay, read this through. The figures were rodents. To my left was a Ratisfabber, wearing goggles, a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig, wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages. The rat stepped forward first and bowed. Welcome, Captain, to Ratstar Island. I am Edgar, second chief engineer to the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you all avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The rat stepped back. At precisely the exact moment, with what appeared to be the ease of a long habit, the guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Cavia. I am Lady Augusta Devereaux, Swinch to the Blackwater Swinches, Seneschal to her King Gracelaw, first of his first name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The two stood at attention, looking at me expectantly. The two remarkable rodents sat, squatted, both seeking my support. I knew I had to choose carefully. I spoke to the chief engineer. His eyes had a wave-cold glint to them, and he wore his scars like jewels. A rat in the making. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. We came to this island to make home for ourselves away from London, its cats and snuffers, its rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands. We made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. Chief engineer nodded toward the distant hill. One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and away from the Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Cavi saw the blight, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to the last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? I spoke to the seneschal. How did an armored guinea pig manage to look so regal? A knight out of habit. The seneschal cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess's own before speaking. Gracemaw, the king our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourn on sea, conquered this land and won the sovereign main. Now no fortress against him shall remain, no city walls be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind the mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance. Assured shall be our glories in their full, when our lady's eye be restored to our hall. The seneschal composed herself, and then added, We saw truth and beauty by light our by the light of Our Lady's eye on Mount Caveat. But the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? I had heard more than enough. I was ready to make my choice. As you can imagine, I faced quite a dilemma. Their red eyes stared at me, waiting for my choice. I sided with the chief engineer. He seemed grumpy but honest. Also, I knew all too well what rat-made weapons can do. I favored the seneschal. Was it her charm, or a fondness for London's rat-skin coats that swayed me? Perhaps a little of both. At any rate, I was keen to find out more about their civilization. I attempted to broker a peace. Surely their commonalities were more numerous than their differences. Perhaps I could help them get along. What do you folks think? Yeah, we got 3 options, and these are all divergent. So, while I'm waiting here for a second, and I have a bite of an energy bar. I love this story.
This is such a fun little like interlude. Also, I want to note that like amidst all the other chaos, our ship's basically falling apart. Half of our crew got eaten by crustaceans and jellyfish, and we're here delegating a war between rats and guinea pigs because my pet bat, saw this island. Well, let's. Mm-hmm. This is chapter 2 of that story. This is the next part of it. It's like I can go sail away right now and crash into the rocks and die. All right. I attempted to broker a peace. My words helped them reach agreement. The chief engineer and the seneschal shared a look, then regarded me with scornful amusement. Yes, smirked the chief engineer, you're obviously much cleverer than us. Oh, much, murmured the seneschal. You clearly know much better than we know ourselves. Apparently, idealism would not help here. A friend to rats. I extended a finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The seneschal hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. You've made the right choice, said the chief engineer. Let me show you around. You've gained fuel, supplies, and memoirs, a rat in the making. You help the rats. The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the wood, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints as fierce-eyed rats shouldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we came upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations I've encountered in London flats, perhaps only 50 ratus faber altogether, working diligently to fortify their side of the island. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light beaming out from the stump of chicken wood about 6 feet high. It bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow and was almost too bright to look at. And by its light I could see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water, an albino rat mending nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was a barracks, where a sergeant barked drills to a small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention, and several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. Welcome to Marinia, said the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. It's not much to look at now, but it will be once we've rousted the cabbies. Take a stroll around while I summon the war council. With that, he vanished into the mounds and left me to explore. Wow, there is so much here. Hmm. Hmm. Rather than sabotage my run and just crash, I think because there is so much to read here, I'm going to cut for now for this run. And we will come back to this. This has been an absolute blast, though. I can hear my own voice is starting to break down as I've read this much. This is more than I've done. Um, yeah, this has been fun though. I don't know. Do you folks want to hear me keep reading this for another stream in the future? Let's see. Whoop. Go over here. Okay. Manual save. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Woo. This back on here. And we will switch over to this. Of course, the, hmm.
That fan art reel is just going to give me problems no matter what, isn't it? What if I make it smaller? Maybe that'll help. Hey, we'll see if that, like, continues to behave. Uh, also, grab this, let's move it over. Whoa! No. No, 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 no. No, no. There we go. Oh. All right. That was a really good little read through of so much of just a one run of Sunless Sea. And the wild part is, like, there's so much more story to be found there. There's so much more to the book of what that all is. And I don't know, there's probably somebody out there that's really good at driving in circles and not getting hit by the various sea monsters, but I'm not that person. Ah, woo! Hi, Busta. Um, yeah, the looks like there's something wrong with the facial parameters on this version of this avatar. I might need to actually go through and correct them. It would also just be the angle that she's rendering at. Let me see. Straighten her up a little bit. Yep, I think that fixed it. Okay. Let's see. I want to do a raid. I also want to remind folks I will be doing my actually announced stream, probably in about, I can't do math right now. My brain's wanting to say 15 hours, but I don't think that's accurate. I've got it posted on the official Discord, and if you haven't already joined, please do click on that. We're trying to build out a community and make certain that you don't miss out on future shows. Oh, and I have so much more to show. Let's see here. It looks like... Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. And I think, yeah, we're gonna raid Koi. Although I think the same people are currently watching Koi, so maybe not. Let's do this. We'll send you over to Valdutz. Again, another streamer. Yeah, I was gonna say another DJ who's given me a lot of support. All right, folks. Thank you so much. I will see you around. Well, see you soon.